to the meeting. It's kind of a blustery day out there, but glad for those that could make it, and those that couldn't, you're not missing much. But if you're on the phone, we got a lot of snow this morning. So I'll call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda is EMSSD business. Review and approve bills paid since the last approval.
No, you got to read the minutes.
Oh, excuse me. Where is it?
Should be the
Oh, in the
first.
middle. Review and approve minutes. Sorry, I'm a little sleepy this morning. We have any deletions, corrections, or additions to the minutes? Anybody's aware of that we need to look at?
Good to me.
I'll take that as a no.
Good to me too.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Then moved
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. White, you're on.
You got this.
Yeah, I got it here somewhere.
This is a list of the checks that have been written since our last meeting. The large one at the top, $45,000, that's a transfer from the checking account to the PTIF savings account for the, that's that.
Project.
$115 a quarter that's charged to everybody that we're saving up for the,
Oh, okay,
to pay for the bond.
okay.
I don't think there's anything else. Down towards the bottom, you'll see some expenses, some checks that have been written to start the fencing around the spring project. $1,800 for the logs and $500 for Jesse McMullen's work on that so far, and I guess there'll be more coming, but that's a start. I don't see anything else there that's out of the ordinary.
And the other one, the big one's just transfer anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the next page, the only unpaid bill we have right now is this USA Blue Book. That's the purchase of that leak detector.
Okay.
We had to set up an account, and the account's on hold until they approve it. They wanted a payment. I tried to make a payment, but couldn't make that work, so.
So we don't have that yet?
We don't have it yet. It's on order, but the order's being held up until we get this payment settled.
To get Footman's amendment, right? So you'd be a vendor.
And the rest of that, on that page, shows the balances that we have in various accounts and the balances owed by owners of property on the mountain. Are there any questions about any of that information? If not, then we need a motion to approve.
Hang on.
Looks like a lot of money.
Hang on, Bill.
It looks like a lot of money. At what point do you start assessing liens?
We assess liens every year.
Once a year?
Yeah.
Is the cycle coming up?
No, it's not until about the 1st of September.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that haven't paid in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So, we're gonna go after the ones who are not paying, and I'm gonna start making some phone calls with you, David. Okay?
All right.
Okay. Go ahead with the motion at this point.
I make a motion to accept the financials as David presented them.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Assessment area DEQ CID update, Ryan. Is he here today? Ryan Georgie, what his name is?
He has the paperwork that I emailed. Can you pull up that email with Brian George, except for Leo, I think, Bill?
How do you say his last name?
I don't know if I got any of that.
It's attached to the email with the, agenda. It's that same email.
Is
If
it-
you don't have it, I can go print it. It would take me 2 minutes to print it.
Yeah, I downloaded.
can go over that.
David can go over it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I pulled up everything off of that, but I didn't have it on there.
You can't see that. I'll go grab it for you right
David's
now.
got it.
Oh, does he have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It said he'll handle it.
Okay.
You may remember, Ryan Georgie, installed water to lot 92. And that was one of those special area assessments lots.
Right.
But he was in a hurry to put that in, and so he put it in to his he put it into his lot, he put the water into his lot at his own expense. And it was agreed that we would give him credit for the amount that he paid against the assessment of $26,000.
Okay.
And I got this from Leo. There's an agreement here that we would do that. It's a signed agreement that we would do that, and he paid $16,131.55 to get water to his lot.
Okay.
So, the way I see it is that we give him credit for the $16,000, and he's agreed that he'll pay the balance of it, just like the other people are doing over 15 years plus interest.
Okay.
And I've been contacting by email this week several times, and he's agreed to it. I mean,
He's good with it.
he's good with it. He's not fighting it or anything.
Okay.
He agrees with the numbers.
Sure.
So I just wanted to bring that up to the board just to make everyone aware of that situation.
Okay.
Now, he had two lots. He bought another one, but the $26,000 assessment was paid by the seller at the time.
That was one of those four.
Yeah, one of those.
Okay.
So, as far as he's concerned, I think we just go ahead with this proposal and carry it on out.
Right, we already signed an agreement
Right.
a long time ago,
Yeah.
we're just following through with the terms of
Yeah.
that.
I remember we did it. So, I guess we need a motion to approve it.
No, I don't think so.
It's already approved.
We agreed, and we're done.
He's just following up.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
So that's that.
Okay, good. All right,
Brandon, do you have Matt Clark?
I do.
Okay.
You want me to pull it up?
I just want to make sure you have everything.
okay. Let's go on Rich.
So, last month, when we concluded, you guys, I asked the question, where were we gonna go with this grant? Because I didn't get an answer after you guys had voted. And the response was moving slowly. So, I've now talked to the presidents of 11 HOAs. And they're all asking the same question. And I'm trying to find out what that means. I've seen something that said there were parallel efforts between me trying to do something and somebody else. So, this is a concerning thing. We don't have water, we can't put out a fire. We can't have people coming up to rent if there's no water. I've talked to a lot of people now, and I got nobody that disagrees with me. So I'd like to see if there's direction.
With what?
The grants to move forward. As you guys said, we were gonna move forward slowly.
Well,
No, I'll say nobody disagrees with you on that. We need water up there for sure,
Okay.
100%. There's no
But we-
disagreeing with that.
We need to figure out how to pay for it.
Agreed.
Let's just,
Yes.
let's just talk about this for a minute. We said we weren't gonna do it. That made you go and do what you're doing, digging in and that sort of thing. We understand. We all want the same end here. So, what we're doing right now is we're going through 5 counties, and we're gathering names and things and approvals, and they've seen the estimates as well. And, to my knowledge at this point, the money hasn't been allocated, there hasn't been much to, do until that happens. I don't know if it will happen or when it'll happen, but,
The application date is May 1st.
okay,
Ooh,
I didn't know that.
Yep. Just got an email last night.
Okay, didn't know that. Okay, so, that is the avenue we've been pursuing as opposed to the one that you've been pursuing. But we need to know the pros and cons of both of those, you know. That's why we're here, to talk about that, okay? And at this point, we're down to Gay, who's on the phone, is meeting with, the governor, Senator Curtis, and a few other people for letters of approval and support. That's where we're at on that, okay? Tell us where you're at on that. The homeowners associations, I know they've gotta have water, we know.
well, I guess if we've got that, it looks like we're gonna miss another deadline.
We're not missing any deadlines.
We're gonna hit May 1st?
Oh, yeah.
Is there something on paper?
Oh, yeah.
Is the grant, the application's been filled out, or we just?
5 counties already know they're going to submit. Oh, yeah.
And it'll cover, and I wanna fall back to, I used to say 30 million. I'm a contractor, you know what? As I think of something in my head, and I'll do a little homework, I'm gonna throw a high number out, because when I go to the customer, when they ask me for a ballpark number, I always say it's less than $1 million, knowing that it might be a $10,000 job, and then I come back with what it really is.
Right.
And I see the estimate, so I know what it really is. We're gonna be able to cover that. Is there anything else that's included in that besides, and is it water, and is it roads, or is it just water?
Well, at this point, we've been pushing the water, in distinct language and writing, and I've sent, because we prefer, we have to have the water first.
Well, without question.
Yeah.
I mean,
And,
you know my feeling on it.
Sure.
I think we put the cart in front of the horse,
yeah, that's what we're doing.
and there's, you know, those, people are upset about that too, but
Sure.
that's here nor there. But
Yeah.
are there roads in this vision? I mean, we
Yeah.
gotta take advantage of the money.
We've got the roads in there as well. There's 2 estimates, and they're one for each.
Okay.
But the criteria for us at this point is the water, then the roads. But we're going for all of it. It's not like we're going for part of it.
Okay.
That's,
Because I haven't seen anything, so that's why I'm asking these questions.
I haven't seen anything until he just said it, except for I've sent all the documentation and seen what they've done to just sign and go with it.
No, if I could ask, I'd like to be included in it, because this way I can go back to all these different organizations and say, this is what I know.
That's okay.
Because,
I don't see a problem with that.
so, you know, I'm getting different reactions from different people, and some are on the warpath, and some are, you know, just let us know.
Sure.
Yeah, an email came out last night that the application date's May 1st. But 5 counties is going to be prepared to submit that by then, so we should be fine with
What's the timeline on?
it. Doesn't say.
Okay.
Our County Association of Governments was funded with some positions through the state legislature, and these positions are to help communities and special service districts.
No, I'm familiar with them. I've done some homework on all of it, because that was one of the organizations that I was looking to. Anything I would have done ultimately would have ended up going through you guys regardless. I know as a single person.
How it works.
Nobody that, you know,
And they have all their feelers out
one of the other big driving factors here, as we all know, is if we have a fire, we gotta have water. We didn't have it. That's a big deal.
Well, in conjunction, you know, if you don't have a road either to get to where
Yeah.
you're going, that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm pushing both.
Sure. So
It is-
we're not kicking either one of them out.
Okay.
And it's appropriations, it's not a grant. Okay? So there are some matching funds on there, which we have to deal with.
We shouldn't have to worry about, because we've laid out matching funds with the assessment that we're already working on.
Well, we'll find out. I don't know who figures that document. But that's a good question. I can certainly ask them. And we should.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that was mentioned, even 5 counties mentioned that you've been doing this other project.
Yeah.
So I'll get a hold
It'll
of,
be a grant.
I'll get a hold of Brian and I'll copy you and copy you.
That would be the goal, is to leverage that money, that this way we,
That we already used.
yeah, we're not spending anymore, we're spending
Sure.
it now.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, of the money that we've already used, you know, as I'm talking to these people and we're talking about this in our conversation, do we count, you know, we did the firehouse, not too far away, right? We did the firehouse and we actually gave that to the not Fort Jones, but we gave it to the Beaver Fire. And then we also give the
Scott.
shop consultant, I mean,
Well, I think the one thing that we have in our favor here with 5 counties, we've done all these projects with 5 counties, like you're talking about, Gay, and we've never taken full-term loan, ever, have we?
I'm
You know,
not aware of this, right, by county bus.
yeah, and they're aware of that, yeah, that's something.
This financially, you know.
Yeah, and you have to know too, that sometimes some stumbling blocks come in too. The last time we got the stuff for the shop, we were 2 votes from not getting it from 5 counties. Paul and, Ron went in my stead. That was that time I had that concussion, and it was pretty close, and when it was not. But the question they all had for us, the new people on the board said, well, you're a ski resort, you can afford to do it yourself. And they don't understand what we're doing here. They think we're bragging or out there or something like that, so. But since that point in time, we've had a good relationship with them, and we've had a good run with them because we've done the projects, we've paid the projects, and they know who we are.
I like that argument too about the fire, and, you
Oh.
know, we need the water and pay for the fire. Right now, after all these other mountains, and, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna add to my topic.
I think those 2 points are equal.
I think to answer her question,
Yeah.
how did you give them anything you could think of and let them say no,
Oh, yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
you know?
Give them everything we got and then say no. I don't think they're gonna say no. I don't think so.
Because they'd be saying no to a proven track record.
Yeah, and that's what we've always tried to do. And as you guys know, we run a tight ship. The fees could be a lot more, but we try to keep them where we can so that we can maintain that kind of relationship with those people and everybody else that we deal with. And sometimes it's, pardon me, David, maybe a little tighter than we need it to be, but, you know, we trust the efforts of what we've done in the past, and we've been successful getting money, so. And Brian's really good, and he's got a guy that's working on it named Matt, and we talk about it about every 3 days. He lets me know where they're at, what they're doing.
That's wonderful.
Okay, that's what we need, like I say,
Actually, the deadline's on May 1st, do we know when they start to we don't know when they start.
No, disperse the funds, no. But it'll probably be next year, that's the problem, you know. But still, next year's come pretty fast. So at this point, that's what we're pursuing and why we're pursuing it and where we're trying to get the information. And right now, but as Wade said, the documents are ready. It's all ready to submit.
who we're up against, you know, is 5 counties just submitting us, or are they
Oh, no.
submitting?
No, it's like Ron said, they have a myriad of people on the list. But water is usually number 1 on the list for whatever happens, who needs the water. And,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, there'll be applications all over the state, honestly, so, yeah.
So if that doesn't pan out, then we may have to go and find something else.
Yeah.
But it'll take place on, and when I talked to Brian, he said, we'll submit, he didn't tell me when, as soon as we can. And he said, we will know in 60 days where we're at.
Is this a community or is this federal?
It's rural, what's it called? Rural development?
That's federal?
No, state.
No, I think these are,
It's federal.
this is
Is it
federal,
federal?
this is federal,
It's federal.
this is federal.
Okay.
This is the federal money from Celeste Muller's.
Yeah.
The board of chief is on.
Do we feel real confident about it?
Well, we've never got it before. Like, we've never really applied before, so this is the first time we're using it, so yes. Beaver County's never utilized that money ever in the past, so this is the first time we've tried, hopefully we get it, yes.
However,
Yes.
like we said, with 5 counties, Brian said, we'll push it as hard as we can do it. Because of what you guys have done.
So,
Do we want to form a plan B in case it doesn't go through?
We'll have to. But
Always.
let's see what pans out. We'll know in a couple of months. And the other thing is, as you all know, and we all know, it's election year, and some of this money might not be available at all. That's the crunch. That's the squish.
scary part.
Yes, it is.
it's true, that's true, that's true.
But irrelevant to that, there are gonna have to be some things one way or another that we have to address in that those old pipes down there, that we can't have that anymore. I've been thinking about it, those were the 1970s, do you realize how long ago that was?
Oh, no.
50 years.
I've heard what he's digging up, but I'm surprised he hasn't found Jimmy Hoffa yet.
Okay.
But I will say, I think all of us on the board here are in line with what you're saying. We want to fix the water, we want to fix the roads. Problem is, government takes time, which is unfortunate.
No, and I get that, it was
I
a
don't
little
think it was
disappointing, because I thought there was more than, the money we had to spend, but in return, what they were offering us for free was more than beneficial to whatever we would have spent.
Well, and just for your information, the things that Rich did, he went to the homeowners associations and they said they would pay the $2,500 a month without any question, because they're losing renters.
Several people have come forward and said, I'll give you the money, I'll give you the money. And I said, I don't.
I can't take the money.
It's,
I can, Rich, have them contact me. I'm just kidding.
Spoken like Heidi, spoken like a true
Cash
woman.
check.
Yeah.
I guess there's,
Send them my way, I can help.
There's private entities that wanna, I don't know,
Yeah,
something to look at, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and we'd have to talk to Leo about that, maybe that's an issue that we need to address, but with
That
private
could be part of
entities.
a plan B.
Well, here's the thing, the homeowner association, everybody up there is a constituent of the mountain,
Yeah.
and everybody has the right to approve, do what they wanna do, and bring it to us, and then decide if that's gonna be implemented or if it'll work.
And I guess that's why I'm sitting here, because unfortunately I've got a very small audience, but I got a feeling at some point this is gonna build to a crescendo.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've had several people say that they'd like to see you on the mountain with the other 2 commissioners, and I wouldn't wanna be sitting in your seat at that point, but I don't know what they're gonna say.
They've called me, I've talked to several people.
Well, yeah, and now I'm getting calls, so, I, in the past month, I feel that since I put my letter out, I'm getting calls, I don't know who these people are. Some are really goofy and some are right on.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, people live up there, they need water, I totally agree with that 100%, and we need fire, I totally agree. The problem is, where do you get the money, how do you get the money, all that kind of stuff, it just takes,
Well,
unfortunately.
there's another issue here too, and that includes Shane. Shane's resort brings people here, and if there's no water and the Airbnbs are not full, that's another edge of the sword that has to be dealt with. And some things like that aren't running smoothly there either.
I don't know what to say about that, it's not my business.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, so, when we sit up here and we do all this stuff, we have to evaluate everything and what is proper first, second, third, so forth, prioritize. And that's the way we're looking at it now, is because we had I think it was a gal, I don't know if it was, that wanted to put 4 lots together and build townhomes. And that's not in the, you can't do townhomes down in the bottom, can we, Bill? They're not zoned for that.
No, they're not. I had that conversation last night, because we had a board meeting for that area, and in the CCNRs and the
Yeah.
ARC, it's not allowed, and
I think that you can go through a process to change the zoning or something.
they could attempt it, but I think Kyle has already
Oh, okay.
said no.
Yeah. But anyway, so those are kind of the things that are forefront right now. And not until he said that tonight, but I've been talking to Brian, and he said, his doctor's been ready for 12 days, or 14 days now, 2 weeks.
Okay.
So,
I guess I got another question.
Yeah.
Ron, you could fill that one. It was approved to take down logs, or not logs, trees. It was a state grant. Know anything about that?
Are you talking about one of those lots going up to the upper lodge at the?
Well, I think George identified a whole bunch of them last year. And I just wanted to see where that's at in the process.
Yeah, we had a $5 million grant that the state had, that if you identified the trees, they'd come and take them down. And the trees were inventoried supposedly last year, and the trees are supposed to come down this year. We just haven't heard any progress on that. George was definitely the lead person on that.
okay,
We had a,
But this was very important to all of us,
Sure.
because we spent $8,000 to take down 6 trees.
Yeah.
At Snowflake, and there's so many more that need to come
Sure.
down, and so that
And-
opportunity is
yeah,
too big to miss.
it's basically a grant for mitigation.
Yes,
So,
Forestry, Fire, and State Lands has field mitigation grants and programs.
Right, we had a meeting
That's
with John
what it
last
is.
year, and
Johnston get,
Mhm.
that's where he
and
announced all that.
they had a partnership grant with the Forest Service.
Mhm.
And some reason, I think the Forest Service ended up with most of that money and not John's group.
huh,
And so, we need to ask John where he's at, but they always have money for tree removal in these types of communities, so we just need to get with George and John.
you check on it for us? Okay.
You just need some trees taken out?
Yes,
Well, I think
they
the
were all
whole-
identified as our understanding, and then they were gonna do that this year, but we haven't heard anything else.
Okay.
If that's,
And spray thing down, start praying.
Yeah.
yeah.
From the way of my plow, I knock over trees all the time.
Yeah.
You know what Ken used to call that, don't you? The plow and got another tree.
Yeah, I'll follow up on that, because I know all those folks very well.
And it, at some point, hopefully an insurance guy doesn't come up there and go, wow, why are we supplying these people with insurance? They got no water, and there's trees that should be taken out left and right.
Yeah.
So,
And the roads can't get
we can protect the
emergency vehicles.
community up there with that.
Sure.
And I guess the last thing I got is for you, Leo. What are the rules for attendance?
Attendance? We have bylaws and basically they.
Specifically for attendance?
We have bylaws that state that you're supposed to attend, and if it becomes a problem with attendance, that, you can give some kind of notice to the county commissioners to ask them to take somebody off the board.
Isn't there a number of meetings you're allowed to make or miss?
What?
Isn't there a number of meetings you're allowed to make or miss?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what the requirements are. I have to go and check it out.
Because I've been to enough meetings now, and I'm not saying I take a head count, but I can look around now and it is,
We have another specific ordinance on the electronic meetings, and also people that are in attendance electronically, and they're considered in attendance when they are, so.
If they call and approve it with me,
Right.
that's not happening.
and you know, I'd like to see a full house. I mean, I can't get one out here, but I'd really like to see one up here.
Well, we have to have a quorum, you know, the whole committee, so we need 4 people every meeting.
Can be electronic.
Nathan. But,
Well, they,
Well,
And I
Dave's
did
not,
think-
Don't tell me.
3 of these guys, but the electronic counts, so we
Today,
have
Dave.
6.
But if
right,
they
but I
have to
think
be
it's
approved by June
specific to
1st.
actual
Well,
attendance, not.
you know,
That's
let's
what
get to the nits and grits of this. You get 2 call-ins a year, 2 times that you can miss, unless you call in and get approved. That's the,
I feel like we changed that when we amended
I
that.
don't think we did.
I think we did, but
Well, can you find out, because that's
look at
important.
it and see.
And I hate to say this, but I get tired of this gig too. For everybody that's listening, I love you, I think you're great, but I know you have circumstances, but if it's not that important to you, then, you know, I'm here every month. Enough said.
And, yeah, I think that's
We're
all I
grateful
got.
for you, Dee. Thank you so much.
Oh, I don't want to be grateful for it, I want you to be here and help me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm my son's graduation, so.
I know, everybody, that's not the point, it's fine, Gabe. I've said my piece, everybody knows how I feel, and we'll have to just work on it and do it.
So next month I'll be back. And.
You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. And I just hope that, you know,
Yeah.
we're in a better place. Because it, you know,
And, you know, it's interesting because we all know that for a reaction, there's a reaction, and that's what has to happen. And that's the thing that, we have to coordinate with, like, counties, with you all in the audience, with all the homeowners. And it's not very easy to do if you have a lot of spread out feelers, you know, fingers of the thing not coming into the center.
Right.
And that's why we appreciate you coming and talking to us about it, all this stuff, because it's just gotta be, it's gotta be a change.
to me, it's important. I mean,
Yeah.
now I'm invested, you know, up there. And I'd like to know that when I'm long gone, that my kids or whoever's gonna enjoy things
Sure.
that happened while I was around.
And, you know, we talked about that a little while ago, about what's our future plan. The future plan is for the whole area, not just for individuals or this project or
Right.
that project. But we need to focus on what we need this to be, because you know what? I might die.
Eventually, we all are. I
Yeah,
can give you that.
but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and we've all talked about it before here and there. When we leave, we want it to be a better place, and we want it to be a legacy if we did the things that needed to be done when they had to be done. When you look at this whole thing in the 70s with Conrad Koenig, there's only a few of us even know that name. He had a vision, didn't he? He had a vision, and it was interesting because he followed that as far as he could go with it, you know. And then it changed and it's gone through other hands for, I don't know how many owners and how many district people and board members, but we just need to pull it together.
Yeah. If you read his dedication, it tells you what his vision was.
Yeah.
You know, it's on the flat maps.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to see.
Where can you read that? Where does that come from?
He said it's on the plat maps.
I could bring you a copy,
That'd be good to see.
you know,
I'd
Sure.
love to see that.
Yeah.
it should be posted somewhere, because, you know, it is the guy that started it, you know, it was Bart's dad.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
I may have a copy in my place, but I know I got one now.
What year did they start it?
70, Jack, when did they start, 71, 72?
Yeah, somebody, I think the late 60s,
Late 60s, yeah.
yeah.
So some of these pipes that are breaking are that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
I know when I owned Woodard Ridge, some of those, oh my heavens, the way that was built was crazy, you know?
Yeah, well, they did what they knew how to do.
Yeah, and then we kind of jimmy rigged, well, I shouldn't say we, but yeah, you know, back then, even then, it was jimmy rigged just to make it work sometimes.
Sure.
They broke.
Well, and interestingly enough, Gay, you talk about that sort of thing right now, and, that's why we're in the fix we are, but our mission is to change that so that's not an issue, because when we start putting the water in from these new tanks and stuff, and the pressure goes down there, it blows those crusty old pipes into crumbs.
Okay.
That's where we got the, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But we'll make it through.
In 30 years from now, there's gonna be another group sitting up here, and a guy like me sitting here going, what were they thinking? So, you know, things change, you know.
Well, we appreciate it, and we know that you want the best for it as well.
Well, they did the best that they could at the time.
Sure.
I mean, I remember, you know, with how many few people were on the mountain, just
Well,
figure out how to even make it happen, you know?
I don't remember how many ski runs there were. There weren't very many, were there, Jack? 4?
Oh, yeah, but a little bit, probably more.
Yeah.
More than 4, maybe 6, 8,
Yeah.
just,
So it's evolved, and it's getting bigger and
probably
bigger.
side.
Everybody should know the story of how they designed it, and how they came up with the whole concept. It's amazing.
Yeah, we are, and that's what we're into.
But my next move after, let's say the roads are done, the water is in, is she wants a visitor center, I want a C-store. And that would be the next grant that's rattling around the back of my head that you can combine.
That's
those
been kicked
buildings.
around a lot, and what that is, that makes it a destination.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been several people, one of them's on the phone with us, Phil's looked at that, there's a lot of people that look at a lot of stuff like that. But that is we're in accordance with that too, at some point.
You know, 'cause I know there are people in town that don't wanna see growth. I think anybody that's ever lived anywhere doesn't wanna see change. They like it the way it is, and I get that, cause I've lived in those areas. But you can't stop it,
Yeah.
but you can control it.
Manage.
Yeah, well, and that's the whole thing, but if we don't get this thing rectified, we don't have anything to balance.
Yeah,
That's the issue.
just need the infrastructure for the growth.
Yep. And it all comes down to money,
We can
yeah, effort.
dig up those cans that they're burying.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
You know, everybody likes free.
that's true. Okay,
All right.
thanks.
I think that's all I got this
Question?
month.
I just have one question, the document that's prepared, that's gonna go in for this request, would that be public record that you could share with us next month?
Oh, why not?
The application,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
I'm sure it can
That'd
be.
be great.
And that'll be fine. Well,
We'd love that. That'd be
Heidi, we can
great.
get that to him.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but we could talk to
Yeah,
Brian.
sure. Leo,
Thank you.
you okay with that?
Yeah, yeah. Is Matt Clark still on?
He's not on.
Handling that?
Matt Clark's next?
Okay.
He's not on, he sent all his information in a letter for Matt Clark. He can't be here.
Oh, I've
so-
seen this.
Yeah. Did he call you? You were all telling me.
Yeah, I talked to him,
Basically, it's saying that he shouldn't have to pay the fees, because he had 4 lots and water was to one of the 4, and he combined them.
I want to discuss this with the board. Is
Okay.
that okay? Can I do
Sure.
that now?
Yeah. Then we'll take a photo of it, send it to him. Serious. I'm not kidding.
There's a road, looks like this. And, right here is lot 53, and over here is lot 69.
Will you write the numbers on those lots, Leo? Let me take a picture of it.
I think it's drawn out right here, if you want me to email it to you.
Oh, I was gonna, yeah.
And, here's a copy of the plat, that's right, it's right there.
Uh-huh.
So, apparently, this 69 has water to it. I'm not sure where it comes from, because I assumed it would have come down the road, but he has water on this one, and then he combined these two lots because it was at the end of a street.
Uh-huh.
So the county allowed him to combine the two lots into one lot. And so he's saying, well, I got water on this one, and we listed this as one of the 67 lots that we gave all the notice to and everything, that it was part of the assessment area. Now he's saying, well, I've got water, so I don't want to pay the assessment. Okay? You want to take a picture of this before I erase it?
Yeah.
It's right there on the flat too.
I know.
So currently, that's one lot.
Oh, wait,
So this is now one lot county.
Okay.
Just about lost.
Do we know when he combined those lots?
Well, the county says that it was on 7/21, that's what the thing does, but
23?
21.
Oh, 21, 7.
I have a feeling that they didn't do it because he was like delinquent in taxes or something, but that's what they're saying. But when I checked on it, it hadn't been combined yet.
Not as of now, even?
Well, no, it's combined now, but, you know, we did all our stuff in 21, and we were starting, I first checked it in January of 21, and they were separate then, and I checked it at other times, it hadn't been combined yet when we were going forward with it, and so, anyway, this is what it comes down to now. I mean, he could, at any time, you know, maybe want to divide those up, because they are two big lots, and there'd be value to sell one again, and then it would need water again. I don't know, but this is what the analysis is. We borrowed $1,720,000 for the project, and we received that money, put it in our bank account, and we've spent quite a bit of it for the, you know, the work that they've done so far. We'll spend the rest of it this summer.
Down in the bottom.
Finish the project. On the other hand, we divided that by 67 lots, and came up with an assessment of $26,492.54 for each lot in order to pay that back. And that's at basically 1.97% interest. We're paying that on this money, and they're also paying it on their assessment, same interest. Okay? So we have to make a payment every year of $135,297. And so the only way we make the payment is if these 67 lots pay their yearly payment of approximately $2,000. It's actually 2,057.17, that's their payment. And we've had 4 lots that have paid off, so we have about 100,000.
For the first,
David said we had 111,000 in the account for this assessment area.
for the first year.
Right, and we sent out statements for this payment from all, basically it's 63 lots now.
Okay. So what he's saying is he should only have to pay for one lot, not for two.
No, the other lot that he owns isn't in the assessment area because it has water
Oh, okay.
to it. So he
Gotcha.
says, I don't want to pay this, I have water, I'm going to build a big cabin and whatever on 2 lots.
Okay.
And, you know, we could have maybe, with the known about it, we could have reduced the lots to 66. We went through that whole process, we gave notice to all those lot owners, you know, several times, and he never contacted us and said.
So what you're saying is it should have been done then if it was gonna be done.
Right, so then the problem is, how do we take care of it? With Georgie, how do we pronounce
Yeah,
that?
that's right.
Georgie.
We just talked about him, his was 16,000, And we also contacted the contractor. So one of the ways we can solve the problem is if the contractor deducts, you know, subtracts some amount from his contract. And that's what we did with George Lee. Said, this line's already in, you need to subtract that from your contract, you don't have to put that line in now. And we told him that last spring, and hopefully that's done. And so when we're all done with the project, you know, there should be like 26,000 deducted from it that we'll still have in our account that we can then move over into the payment side of the ledger instead of the construction side.
Sure.
And there's a possibility that we can do that with this Matthew, property.
If he wants to work something out.
If we can get to them, and maybe they haven't done the work yet, maybe we can deduct it from the contract and then, you know, take him off of the.
Well, the question I have for you, if he's got two adjacent lots and he wants to use both of those lots, does he have to, he might not build on them. He might not pay
He
anything.
might sit there, he's got them combined now, but then 5 years down the road, he might say, hey, I want to break this off and sell it again, and then.
Sure.
And then legally, we have the authority to go forward and ask him to pay it, but I think, you know, we should
don't want
at
to get to
least
that point.
attempt to see if we can deduct it from the contract and get the money on this side of the ledger back into, so it just stays in our account, and when we build up enough to make the payment each year.
Yeah.
But that's the only way we can work it out, you know. And then, you know, we have to manage this for 15 years, and right now, we're in a situation where we can solve some problems because we're making interest on the money that we have.
Could you get him to do a preliminary set of plans and see how he's gonna drop that house? Because you know, if he builds a big house there, he's not somewhere down the road gonna chop the house in two.
Exactly, he's in the middle of two lots with this construction, you know.
This way you've got some insurance of what he's actually gonna do with it, rather than a what if.
But the other way we make money is if we actually have some money, and if we can make 4% interest on the money that we have, rather than the 2% that we're paying on it, sometimes we can make something that way. So we've got whatever's left of this, you know, for the contract that we're earning interest on, and then whatever money we get back from people paying their payments, and you know, we have to make our first payment. We sent out the bill with all of these payments due on May 1st, but then we actually have another year, which gives us a year to try to get the delinquent accounts up to be paid, so then we can make our payment each year. But right now, we only have $111,000 in the account to make $135,000.
Well, the other issue is there's a lien on the property already.
What's
Am I
the
correct?
lien?
You put liens on all of those 67 properties,
Right.
so just leave the lien on.
And if he doesn't pay,
Well, I don't do that because if they don't make the first payment, I give them notice that they haven't made their payment. I actually go through a process where I would sell their lot.
yeah.
Get the money to pay it. That's how the loan, that's how the bond is set up.
Well, that's
So
what
I'm
we're
not gonna
asking.
wait.
This is all good and well, but in the end run thing, we'll get paid. We'll get paid.
Right, I'm just saying, I'm
Well,
willing to work to see if
well,
the
we all are.
contractor will,
We all are,
I don't
but-
have to go that far and maybe.
But the way you were talking, it seemed like there was no other way out, but obviously there is. That's why I'm asking the question.
Right, well, we're stuck with all of this,
It's
and all
called
of our
CYA.
obligations, we can't get away from them, and that's why,
Yeah.
I mean, I've done this before, and when the people came to me 3 years ago saying, you know, I'd like to build on my lot, it's gonna take me $80,000 to extend the line, And is there anything you can do? And I knew that there was something I could do, but I also knew that I'm also locking myself in for 15 years of torture trying to collect the money from everybody. That's just the way it is. That's the way it works out. And so I agreed to do that because I thought it would be helpful to all of these lot
Well,
owners.
they needed the water, they haven't had it down there.
And we do have a very good interest rate of 0.197.
Yeah.
But, you know, we have to manage this for 15 years, and we don't know. Hopefully, we get sort of a big amount of money that we're earning interest from, that we can try and manage it that way, but.
Or a lot of lot sales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot sells, that helps. And we have to write that if a lot is sold, you know, say the Fed started reducing interest and then interest went back to zero again, and we were having trouble. If somebody was gonna sell a lot, we still have to make our payment each year. We have to write to actually analyze that and say how much above the 26,000 you need to pay.
Well, the four lots that sold for that price.
Right, and we are saying we're making 4% interest on that money, so they don't need to pay any extra. But if the interest rates were down, we're only making, 0.7% interest, we could have the right to say, we still need enough money to pay the payment every year, and you're gonna have to pay like.
And if that happened, then the money that we're making in the investment right now wouldn't be there either.
Right.
Right.
Right, so anyway, we just have to manage that for the next 15 years and try to pay that off. I just wanted everyone to know
Sure.
how this all works.
Shake the dice and 7-Eleven, baby.
So that's what we will do, is we'll try and get to the contractor before they start, see what the situation is
Sure.
with that lot.
But how are we gonna know when that is if they don't tell us?
I'll know,
Huh?
I'll know.
Okay.
They have to go through me to get their plans approved.
Oh, okay.
So we will work on that and try and get the,
And taken care of.
yeah, so we can work it
Hang
out.
on, Shane. How do you turn the volume up on this thing right here? Go ahead, Shane.
Okay, hey Brad, did you just get an email from me? It's special assessment map.
Maybe. Let me check one of my private emails.
When did this come a couple minutes ago?
He's picking up several phones, Shane, trying to find it. Who
And it was contact your MSSD, but your private one, if you need me to send it to them.
I got it.
He's got it.
So, just go ahead and pull that up on the screen.
Yeah, give me just 1 second. I'm gonna take everyone off of this so you don't read all my emails when I'm going through this.
Hi, Brandon, is there anything you don't do to
Jeremy.
hear anything?
That one was on my private email. That was on my work one, I don't care. You guys don't want to see none of that.
No, we don't. Fishing on it, you sure? Life goes on, doesn't it?
So I think this is the plot map you just talked about here.
Yeah.
It'd be page 2 of the PDF, it's just a map of the special assessment area improvement.
Yeah, found it.
Around the water line, so,
Okay.
is it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at the top center of the page, where it says PRV, see the little red circle to the left of that?
Mm-hmm.
The light blue dotted line is existing. If you go below the red circle, it goes all the way to where it ends at Jeremy's old house. One
So that map is showing both 53 and 69 as no water.
Yeah.
Is that right, Brandon?
That's what it's showing, but I think right there where my
Cursor is?
cursor is right now is where the main line ends, and I think they tapped off of that to go to where Jeremy's old lot was and up to that lot,
Above him?
53 or,
Above him?
yeah.
So the one above got water.
So I think he's right, I think he has water there, because this is just showing the main lines, not the service connection.
It still looks to me like that would be a problem because the line is not in the road. And so in municipal government, we don't want to have lines going up the back lot, you know, to you, because we don't have really an easement for that to be able to maintain the line. So but you're saying that lots above it are already serviced somehow.
Well, I talked to him before, and he said that he does have a water service connection already on that one lot, and I think the reason
And he
that
claims that he has water rights.
well, I don't know about that.
No, well,
That's what he said.
But I think what happened here is I think when Jeremy had to dig up that line to redo the line to his house,
Had to dig it
I
up.
think it kind of ended up going into his lot a little bit there.
Wonder if Jeremy got any of that?
so that's a problem. So we've got a lot of work to do on that.
These two lots right here.
Those two lots right there are the ones they're talking about.
Right there.
Yeah, clear through. But you think the line's further down than that?
I think the main ends right about the entrance to Jeremy's driveway, and I think
Shot up from there.
I think they put in a service connection to go up from there.
The owner did?
I'm not sure.
Is that him? Is that the lot we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yep.
Well,
If that's the case, he is connected to water.
but he should be.
But the water line needs to be in a right of way. You can't just come up through the back there. It has to be a road that it's in.
Well, I don't know how accurate this map is either,
Yeah, well,
for the water line.
so we need to keep doing some research on that then.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
I got a question. Is there a plot map that shows where there's houses versus vacant lots?
Not that I've seen.
I was asked that question last night, and I could only go to Google Earth and.
I was gonna say, I've seen like a satellite image with it plot mapped out, but it's several years old now. and-
Let's do this, we're talking a lot about, let's table it, let's table it and look at it, because if it's done improperly, he's gonna have to pay for both.
Well, now we didn't give a notice on lot 69.
Yeah,
That
but,
wasn't included in the area.
well, we wanna know how it got up to that guy's lot,
Yeah,
and we think we know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
that's a problem.
It just doesn't go away. Okay.
So how does he get water to that one, from this line here?
No. No, he doesn't have water, he doesn't have water to it.
Well, why wasn't 69 included then?
Well, it is, but.
It wasn't included in the
It
assessment.
wasn't included because we were told it had water to it already.
Well, that's where he said, I got a water right, and I got, you got a well?
No, it was just,
We gotta investigate this, okay? We physically gotta go up there and look at this and get the witching wand out and see where the line is, and, you know, that's the only way to do it. If it's improper, it's not the right of way, sorry, it's gonna have to be. Am I correct?
I'd say so.
Okay. Can we find the pipes? Do you know how to locate them?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay, good.
Big yellow locator.
not yet.
Find all sorts of pipes.
Hurry, get it. I got small and marked bills and pictures of dead presidents on my duty. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's just table it, and, we gotta investigate this. This is not right. Okay?
Okay, on to me, huh?
On to you. You ready?
Water system status. We had some serious issues a couple of weeks ago. We popped the breaker in our pump house for some reason, the heater shut off, then the tank filled up, pump shut off, and everything froze, and it broke several $1,000s worth of stuff in that pump house. I'm still in the process of fixing most of it. I do have it working right now, running through the bypass lines at the pump house. If we wouldn't have done those upgrades this summer on the
Yep.
pump house, we would have
Having two places to go.
still been down. because we only had a single line going through there instead of the two lines, and that kind of saved us.
Okay.
When we get that generator and stuff installed, that'll kind of save us on this whole, that thing ever happening again, but it didn't get done this last year, so.
That is part of the project, right?
It is, yeah, it's going in, supposed to go in this summer.
Anticipatory of all that sort of thing up there at that spring, the other one that we're talking about, improving the triple chair spring
Triple chair is on the
list.
list of things that has to be done with that project, yeah.
Because one way or another, we need to do that, and we already talked about this, and, oh, by the way, Shane, you know, when you talked about approving this in this meeting, I took the liberty of saying that doing that with the wood for the spring was okay, because everybody said if he agrees to it, and so I did that, so we don't have to do that again. And I think it came, refresh my memory, Shane, the whole thing was like $5,800.
For the for spring?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just for spacing the log, I mean, that'd be.
Yeah, that's the start. But in lieu of this, and the thing we're talking about, and we've discussed this before, Brandon and I, we need to get with Forest Service ASAP. If we can upgrade that spring, which we have the water rights on anyway, and have that so it doesn't freeze in the winter, we get 75 gallons a minute, we never have another issue in our life. That's gonna be something that we're gonna pursue, but we will continue to pursue the triple chair spring improvement on this project, because we need more source.
We do need more source.
Okay? So that's kind of the direction I'm thinking that we ought to be moving on that. So we can, if we can get these lines fixed and get that source, you know what? I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna quit. I'll be done.
I'll do that.
So, but yeah, that's the other thing. Every issue that we have here is part of the project. At this point, that one is, but I don't know who we talked to at the Forest Service.
Jared Whitler.
Can someone tell me?
I think he's already, he's aware of that, right?
Oh yeah, we've talked about it before. But the issue with it is if you go up and improve that spring, you gotta make a road, you gotta get approval.
There's no road in, so you do have to.
There's paperwork big time, and you gotta.
Yeah, that's probably a
You
challenge.
gotta reconstruct it the same way it was.
There was a road in at one point, and obviously they blocked it off and made it to where it was impassable.
Yeah.
And now you have to get re-permission to do that again.
Yeah, you're on federal land now, so.
Right.
Yeah, but that's the way we're pushing on this spring thing.
Do you want me to work with him?
Yeah, would love you to.
Okay.
Let me know. We can meet with him and talk to him, conference call, whatever.
Dang, that should be.
Because that would solve all of our problems, period.
That spring pulls a lot of water
That
when it's
needs to
flowing.
be done before you put the fence around it.
Well, the fence doesn't go in the ground, so those fences up there, they stack.
That's gonna be, walk all along, you know.
You can take them apart,
You can
put them
take them
aside,
apart.
and put them right back up.
Right, we would need, if we knew we were doing that, first off, fences be taken down, you know, we can't rebuild the spring this summer, you know, it's just made of wood and stays and stuff like that. But David's right, we were somehow on an emergency basis, which it is, because that
Yeah.
spring freezes in the winter and we have only one. If on an emergency basis that was approved, then I agree that we should actually do it before, because you have to take the whole thing, you're digging
Yeah.
a large area.
Yeah,
in town.
when we look at that, Shane, the guy who suggested it, because I was concerned about getting the spring improved, and, who's the guy from Minersville?
Ryan Mayer.
Brian said, there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
It can be done.
He
Or
thinks
it's
it's
still
still,
in the first place, there's a road there, you just have to improve the road.
Yeah. But anyway, and that's one time I was down there watching the guys digging a hole down the bottom of the place we're talking about, the village down there, way down at the bottom, and he said, you can do that, you know, you just gotta get it deeper in the ground so it won't freeze. And we already have the line coming down, but it's old, and
it's older, but it's not the oldest line up
it's
there.
not archaic.
Yeah.
But if we could do that, holy cow, you know,
Could you add that to the grant?
Potentially, I think,
we gotta get
it probably makes the most sense to do the triple chair spring, which is already approved, funded, and on
Yes,
the schedule.
yes, that's our goal.
Because otherwise, in the summer, the only time we could do it would be shutting off the Forest Service spring, which means we'd be back to only.
Oh, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go triple chair first.
Yeah.
But we need to start talking about this. It might be a while till we can get it.
I'll take that on.
Ron's gonna take that on. Thank you. Okay.
Cool. flow measurements. Forest Service Spring is currently not flowing because it's frozen. The Puffer Spring is at about 48 to 50-ish gallons a minute, depending on when I go check on it. And those are the only flow measurements I got on that. The roads,
How about the tanks, are the tanks?
tanks are full.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah, we got them filled back up.
What about the tank alarm?
So I got a message from our guy yesterday, so they're going to be here this week, so I'm gonna call him after this meeting and see where he's at. So,
Okay.
Did the new tank get approved?
since we've had these water issues, I haven't even went and opened the lid on it to do the testing on it yet, because I have to shut our other tanks off.
Yeah, it drains low and you have to pull it.
Yeah, I gotta put all my water into the new tank, and then I have to let it sit and do all that stuff, and I just didn't dare do it during water issues. So, that's where we're at on that.
But the leaking part of it's approved, isn't it?
That's, that I've gotta have
Have all that.
Sunrise come up and a
Test
state
it.
guy come verify it.
Okay.
And then the roads, it's runoff season, you guys have seen the roads, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Muddy, snowy, water, like, I hope we get some of this stuff going for that. In the meantime, we got a little bit of rock up there that we're gonna have to spread on some of the roads where it's rutted out real bad, and
Yeah.
wait till we can run a grader across it. We went out and done a couple of trials to see if it's dried up enough in some spots to do it, and it's not. Just churning mud instead of churning dirt. Equipment status, I think all of our equipment is good.
Did you get the white truck fixed?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Got again.
Well, I know. Fix it.
I told you I'd drive till the wheels fell off, remember that?
Yeah, it did.
And then the wheels fell off.
Okay. Is that it for you?
I think that's it for me, I don't got much to go on.
Ron. Jack. I knew it was Ron, Ron. What's going on?
The fire department is doing a lot of spring training.
Okay.
Wildland, getting ready for that, we got everybody through some classes.
Okay.
And we've done some EVO, emergency vehicle operation training on all of our equipment.
Uh-huh.
We got a lot of newbies that need to be checked off so they can
Sure.
drive.
How many people do you have that can be the engineer on the truck?
Engineers, we've probably got 10.
Okay, good. I just like to know that the guys driving it, or, you know, that's what they do. Yeah, no, he put one hand over his eye. He's scary. I don't know, you know, I'm very familiar with fire departments from family,
Exactly.
and, that was my question.
Now, we got a lot of guys that are young, old, new.
Yeah,
They
sure.
need to be, but we need to make sure they know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
And that's what we're in the process of doing right now.
good time to do it.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's about it. Oh, we got a container we bought and put up for, putting a lot of our supplies and whatnot up at the upper firehouse.
Did you put it on the south side there, or over on the?
We put it on the east,
Yeah.
east side.
Okay.
It's painted green, matches the foliage up there, so,
Okay.
yeah.
You should've made it red, come on.
No, it kind of, it doesn't look too,
It don't look too bad, I helped them offload it yesterday.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Okay,
Yep.
Looks good. Good.
perfect.
That's about it.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Water rights, Leo. Same old?
So I got a Zoom call scheduled for 11 o'clock today with the attorney for Rocky Ford, so hopefully some progress will get made today, or at least we'll know where we stand.
Okay. All right. Shane?
I don't have any update with those this season. We had, water issues on the last weekend, the alarm was a possible, but I know we're close to getting that in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else, just wait for it to come out.
Well, thanks for letting them use the cat to get that stuff up there.
No problem.
Any general discussion? We go forward?
That was it.
Old business, Forest Service Spring, we covered that. Yep. Your turn,
Make a motion to adjourn.
everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go.